And it's not how we're going to start the show because I'm no Gogsy, but welcome to Pass the Mike's coverage of the Scottish Premiership playoff final second leg between Kilmarnock and Dundee. Before we get into the starting lineups, let me introduce my squad to you first. We'll start from beside me and work our way down. So we've got the author of books such as Sevco, The Banter Gears, and co-owner of Red Bull Breaking. That's Quandro, how you doing?
Very well, mate. As I've said, my nerves are shot to shit, to be honest, but we'll move.
We've also got the man who's followed Hearts from Perth to Paisley, and you can catch his podcast of the same name on Spotify and iTunes. Adam, how you doing, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, Stevie. Yeah, looking forward to what should be an enthralling second leg, mate. So, yeah, chuffed to be on, and hopefully it's a good game with plenty of goals.
We've also got the guy who's promised that he's not going to spoil the score tonight.
Alright, guys, how's it going?
How you doing, mate?
I'm no bad, mate.
Good. And we've got Dundee fanatic and a full-time Dundee supporter, if Hammy HD's watching, and he's on YouTube channel, Rossco Reviews as well. Rossco, how you doing?
I'm alright, mate. How are you?
I'm good. And finally, we've got the man, the Mike, the legend, Stefano from Stefano Talks. How you doing, Stefan? You good?
I'm not too bad, mate. I was just wondering when we get a B-Tech Gogsy from Wish to come in and host the show.
This was my, speaking of Wish, this was my make-a-wish, was to host this one day anyway, mate. So, let's just get through some of the comments. Alright, Johnny. Hello to Christopher. And to Matt as well. But no,
Michael's in the comments today.
I've not seen Michael. He's not there at the moment. But if he comes in,
I sit here waiting patiently.
Obviously, we've got to address the elephant in the room at the minute that we've got through 180 episodes of Pass the Mic, and we've only finally just got rid of Gogsy now.
This is the norm now, guys. People in the comments, this is the norm. We have locked Gogsy out his account, and yeah, we're all taking a shun hosting the stream, and Gogsy's no more.
Viva la Revolution.
We always said in the words of Conor McGregor that we were not here to take part, we were here to take over, and the takeover has finally been completed anyway. But no, so he's ready for the starting lineups. I believe Adam's going to do the Kilmarnock lineup for you. You ready, Adam?
I am, mate. Yes, it's two changes for Kelly from their first leg defeat, obviously. Colin Doyle remains in goal. The back four is unchanged with Ross Millen, Kurt Broadfoot, Zeno Ibsen Rossi, and goal scorer Brandon Houndstrup. It's Alan Power and Aaron Tishbola in for Gary Dicker tonight in midfield. Mitch Pinnock, Chris Burke, and Rory McKenzie are the trio supporting Kyle Lafferty up front. No Greg Kilty, although he is on the bench. So, yeah, two changes for Kelly tonight. And obviously, they're chasing that 2-1 scoreline.
Thank you. And Flaj, you've got to take the Dundee team from me, mate.
Indeed, mate. Only one change for the visitors tonight. John Marshall comes in for the injured Christy Elliott. But the lineup as follows is Leighton's in goals, back four, Cammy Kerr, Lee Ashcroft, Liam Fontaine, John Marshall. And then Formob's got it as a midfield two of John McGee, Sean Bunn. Then the attacking three is Paul McGowan, Charlie Adam in the middle, then Paul McMahon. Then up front is Danny Mullen. I think that's basically our strongest 11. So yeah. Cannot complain with that. I don't know about the other lads.
Dundee did it in numerical order. So that's how I've got it done definitely on the ticker. But I'm going
to Chaz won up front he's on.
I'm going to go through the subs as well. On the bench for Cowan, they've got Rogers, McGowan, Medley, Dabble, Kilty, Oakley, and Whitehall. And for Dundee, they have Ferry, Jakubiak, McDade, So, Anderson, Fisher, and Cummins. So let's get into it tonight. I'm going to start with you, Ross, because it's your first game back in a while on Pass the Mic. What did you think of the game on Thursday night, and how are you feeling about this one tonight?
Shocked that we managed to play so well on Thursday. We've came in a good position. Obviously, we're happy to be in a 2-1 advantage, but we'd have rather 2-0. But all to play for tonight, and it means because it's not 2-0, we can't just sit on it. We really have to get the next goal, and I think if we get the next goal, then we're going up. But I think if Killie get the next goal, we're in deep shit. Yeah, let's just see how it goes. We've got a decent record at Killie as well, so yeah, here's hoping. I'll take a crappy 0-0 draw tonight.
Yep. And Ramage, I know you get a bit excited when Dundee scored the other night.
Yeah, I did. Basically I turned around and then Dundee put it in the net for 1-0. But yeah, the other night we played really, really well, and as long as we could keep that momentum, and I think we've got no problems. But as Ross said, is if Killie get the first goal, we're in deep trouble. But if we get the first goal, it's a bit of breathing space.
Yep. And Fraz, you said that you weren't nervous on Thursday. Are they a bit more short tonight?
No, it's probably nerves because like we're in the driving seat, effectively. We need to like come out and take, we need to come out and extend the lead. Whereas they're still in it very much so. They only one goal to come back into the tie. So
yeah.
It's one of them.
That's what scares me. That's what scares me is that they can't play as bad as they did on Thursday. Like they can't afford to, and if they do, they deserve to go down.
Yeah, and just I'll speak to the neutrals now that we've got the Dundee fans' opinions out of the way. Stefan, how big a factor do you think that the plastic pitch is going to be this evening?
I mean, I think it plays into Kilmarnock's favour. They obviously play on the turf more than Dundee do, so I think that will be a factor. Plastic parts are always a factor. The performance from Dundee the other night was nothing short of remarkable, in my opinion, because I didn't seriously think that they would score more than one goal against Kilmarnock. So it was remarkable, and I think Killie getting the goal at Dens Park sets the tie up nicely, because if Killie get the first goal, you can count on them scoring 3 or 4 tonight. However, if Dundee score the first goal, Killie have a mountain to climb, but I think it will make the tie very intriguing. So I'm looking forward to it, but I am going to give a score prediction, and I'm going to say 3-0 Killie.
3-0 Killie, the boys won't like to hear that. So Stefan's touched on the plastic pitch there, Adam, and how much it would be a factor. Would the likes of Ross, Fraz and Jamie no counteract that by saying that there's a lot of plastic pitches in the Championship as well? So
Stevie, it's not just that Dundee train on a plastic pitch every day. Yep. That's another thing. So, it shouldn't really be foreign territory to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we came through it Kirkcaldy on a plastic pitch, and I think that was that was arguably one of our best performances this season. So
I'm not worried about the pitch. The surface it's no worrying me at all.
No, I'm not.
Johnny's gave his score prediction tonight. 2-1 and Dundee win. As Stefan's already gave ours, I'll get them from the rest of you. I'll work my way across again. Fraz, what do you think the score is going to be this evening?
I'll take 1-1, to be honest. I'll even agree with Ross's prediction, which I'm sure he's going to just give momentarily.
Yeah, 0-0 for me.
0-0. Ramage?
I'm going to say 1-1 as well.
And Adam, is it going to be Dundee Delight, or is it going to be a Killie comeback? What's happening?
I think it will be Dundee Delight, and I had one each in my head. I'll say 1-0 Dundee. There you are. I think a bit defensive solidity, like in that last game, and maybe nick one, and that could ultimately settle the affair.
Yep. I'll go personally. I think I said this on Thursday night. I think it will be a tight game. And I think Dundee will score. I don't think Kilmarnock can defend. They've only kept 2 clean sheets since Tommy Wright came in, and they've only managed to win 3 games. So I'm going to go for 1-0 on the night, and I think Dundee will go up. So a bit of good news for the boys.
That shit scares me that 5 of us have predicted Dundee to go through this. That scares the living daylights out of me. So I've been so pessimistic all season. Me and Fraz spoke about it last night. We are so fortunate to be in this position in the first place. We've had an absolute stinker of a season, and somehow we're 1 game away from the Premier League.
So, do you not think that there's been a wee bit of an upturn though since like the cup game? So at the turn of the year,
to be honest with you, the last sort of 12 games we've been exceptional, and I love the fact that we've turned it around. But we've had such a poor season as a whole. I mean, Christ, Adam would say that about Hearts as well. They've had a poor season, but they've won the bloody league. So
I think we got off to a really, really slow start. I mean, we got that heavy defeat at Tynecastle and then drew with Alloa and dropped points in between the start of the season and Christmas time. But since then, we've kind of, I think Jason Cummins as well, he's had a positive impact as to why we're, performing well.
Do you know what I would put the turn, not the turn, more like the revival kind of thing of the season? I would probably put it down to just having a stable goalkeeper. At the start of the season, I think we used all three goalkeepers that we had within the first 5 games.
Yeah.
And we were and then obviously Legdon's just come in and he was supposed to be our number 1, but then obviously got injured. That kind of just forced us to go back to what we were already doing. And then when Legdon's came back from injury, he's been like a new signing completely.
Yeah. Would you couple that with the reintroduction of Liam Fontaine as well, Fraz?
Definitely. I think Liam Fontaine, we spoke about it last week before kick-off, the way that Liam Fontaine reads a game of football is just brilliant, really.
He'll take confidence from having Legdon's behind him as opposed to Jack Hamilton or whoever.
Yeah, it means that type like Liam Fontaine, and Ashcroft, they can go forward. They can come out with their 18-yard box.
Yeah. The other thing I would say, and we haven't spoke about him, is the fact Jordan McGee was meant to be out for the season, and he came back a couple of months early, and he's been massive coming back.
He's been a revelation.
He's turned into a goal machine, hasn't he?
But it's not just that. Stevie, even before he got injured, he was a huge part of the way we played. And he got injured. It was a massive hammer blow to us. But the fact he's came back early, to be honest with you, I think he's the best, if not one of the best players we have.
Did you see that record on Sky just there that flashed up? That Dundee have won 8 of 11 matches under James McPake on a plastic park. Won 8, drawn 2, and lost 1 of their 11.
So that's what I'm saying. But we train on a plastic pitch every day. So, it's not really a shock.
It's only Robbie Nielsen that comes out with those excuses, mate.
I think for me, it's important that Dundee go into this mentality tonight of not trying to protect the lead and just trying to win the game. Because I think when you get cagey and you try and protect it can sometimes come back and bite you.
Yeah, again, that also scares me as well, is that we're just going to sit on it. I hope not. The team lineup doesn't suggest we will.
There's enough capability in that team to really, really go for it. So,
the other thing I was going to mention, obviously, we're pressing on for time now, and I'm not trying to take your hosting away from you, Stevie, but Sunday.
What about? Oh yeah, Sunday. That's right. We have the Pass the Mic awards coming up this Sunday. So the link to those is in the description. You'll get 1 vote each. Ross has just kind of had that on with us. I'm just going to get the categories up.
I know we've only got 2 minutes to kick off.
It's all right. I'm just going to get the categories up and I'll go through them. You will find the links in the description. So we have best attendance. The one which I won after that, best banter. Punditry Performance. Best moment, most professional, and best episode. So you'll find the links separately to each of them. You're entitled to 1 vote each, and the panelists also get 1 vote. And you can find out who will win them on Sunday. So be sure to join us for that. The team's just emerging from the tunnel for me, and the nerves settling a wee bit. And is that fully kicked into full gear now, boys?
I'm still seeing Chris Boyd's ugly mug on my screen, so I might be a little bit behind. That
reminds me, I may as well just announce it just now that although I'm watching and I will be ahead of the boys, I'm going to let them lead the reaction to this because it is their team and there's nothing worse than when you're watching a game somebody ruining it for you. So I'll let the boys.
The other night.
So if you just asked me, I would have accepted that.
But no, I'll let you react it, boys, and here's hoping it is a good game.
Can we just say, I've predicted 3-0, right? Normally when I predict things, they go the other way. Lads, I've done it for you, all right? My prediction is going to seal Dundee's place in the Premiership. So see when this is done, you can just turn around and say, thanks, Stefan, you really are the best. And I'll be happy with it. All right, thanks.
I will thank the 11 men that have played tonight.
Andy.
Thanks for reporting that, Christopher. We'll get that sorted by the end of the stream. Just once this is out of the way, we'll make sure that that's sorted, and you'll be able to vote on it at the end of the stream tonight.
I'm just going to say it right now. My favourite episode has to be my very first. Not because I was on it, surprisingly, because Hearts get beat 2-1, and Adam's reaction was just superb.
Oh, there was an Oscar winning performance in that episode alone from our very own Jack Calder.
Oh, yeah. so much charisma. So much charisma, it has to be said. No, I was just taking a week here for me, and I've kicked off, boys.
Stefan choking on his juice there.
Something I just wanted to that one. I just want to touch on, because there's been a lot of news came out today. We know that there's already a lot of jobs up for grabs in Scotland, but the news that Yogi Hughes is going to leave Ross County. I'll start with you, Adam. What is your reaction to that news?
Pretty surprised, to be honest, because I think ultimately Yogi came in and met his sole objective, which was to keep County in the division. So I am somewhat surprised that they've not opted to kind of extend that deal and give him, a full 38-game season. So it's interesting. I don't know whether County have got somebody ideally in the frame. I think what was it they said on the statement? Maybe John Hughes is sort of pursuing other opportunities.
Yes,
so
that's the other thing with it as well, is that he might not have wanted it.
No, but then is he sort of just using that County spell to sort of put himself back in the shop window? Then
maybe, but that's kind of worked for both parties, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, there's still vacant jobs around. Like, Dunfermline's looking for a manager. I think Falkirk's looking for a manager as well. So, maybe he's
Inverness as well. Another former club.
Yeah.
I was he's former clubs as well.
Yeah. Good point.
Have any of you kicked off bar Stevie?
Yeah. I've got through straight from kick.
1 minute 12.
Right, okay. I am just kicking off now, so I'm going to be right behind
1 minute 12?
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm only 30 seconds in.
I'm on 24 seconds.
Yeah, my time sheet hasn't even come up yet. Yeah, I am 20 seconds.
We're all over the gaff.
Well, now I know in my head I'll not spoil the score this time.
I've got Sky. I'm just going to fire it on the telly.
Man. But no, I was going to make the point about John Hughes that it might be travel-wise, but then you think he's already managed Inverness anyway. So I don't really see that being a factor.
I noticed that the rumour today was kind of him taking the Celtic Colts in the Lowland League. He's surely better than that.
You would like to think. I mean, I was maybe even thinking he might go back to Falkirk because there's a wee bit of a rebuilding job to do there, something that he might fancy. But
you could maybe even argue that Falkirk might be paying more than Ross County are.
Yep.
I can imagine that, to be honest. Budget-wise, yeah.
Gogsy's got some stuff to do down south, so you're stuck with me tonight, Oliver, sorry.
We're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
Right, I'm now on 3 minutes, lads, so aye.
Football Live,
man.
Yeah.
Aye, he's went live, he's on time with me. Football Live stream's asking if Dundee do go up tonight, where do you think they will finish in the table? I think that's a bit early to be answering that one.
Jesus, can you not let them get through the night first?
There's a lot that needs to happen between
good first couple of minutes from Dundee here. They've really taken the game to Killie in the first couple of minutes.
Yep.
As I say, Ross, I fancy you to score the night, mate. Honestly, I think their defence is so shaky. It just depends if you can do as good a job for me marking Lafferty out the game as he did do in the first leg.
Yeah.
Barely got a kick, didn't he? Only sort of had that left-footed chance where he cuts inside, and even then sends it pretty wayward in the end. So, yeah, they restricted him to very few chances, and they'll be hoping for a repeat tonight, definitely.
Sean's saying here that the Eddie Howe deal is off. Money from Bournemouth not getting
Promotion. Eddie Howe, man.
was never on.
Money. Callum Davidson to be approached.
Nah, that'll not happen either.
Somebody's got their sources wrong there.
There's no way, for starters, that Eddie Howe is ever going to Celtic. And second of all, Callum Davidson's had one season as manager. He'll stay at St Johnstone for at least another season. Celtic are not going to approach a manager that's had one season as manager.
You've won the double, but we want you.
I had this down in my notes. I had it down in my notes for the day, just to touch on Callum Davidson there. And I was going to ask you for your manager of the year. I know how much he's despised St Johnstone, if you're right.
Callum Davidson deserves it 100%.
It's hard not to give it to him.
Seconded. You
100%.
can't take that away from him. Like everybody thought, it's going to be a transition period at St Johnstone. Maybe they'd be in the bottom six for a couple of years before they, really, get back on their feet. But it's been the complete opposite. Top six and 2 cup wins. I mean, what do you want, really?
I know. For a team of a fan base of like 1,800, it's pretty good, damn good going.
It's a ridiculous achievement. It really is.
I think you made a good point though, Ross. I remember you saying that they're all on small wages, but high bonuses.
Small wages, high bonuses, yeah.
So good incentive there for them to go and do the business.
Aye, Joseph, I saw that earlier as well. That's. Do you wonder if maybe Derek McInnes maybe
by the Sun, but
I hope not.
I don't know. I've not heard much about that, but I did see one thing about Mickey Mellon leaving United.
Surely that's not Stephen Robinson. This guy saying.
I was going to say.
I wasn't going to highlight it because I just thought it was such a ridiculous shout, to be honest with you. But
it's a Motherwell fan making it as well.
Yeah. Has anybody seen who? Has anybody got the Salford job yet?
Not that I'm aware. I can check.
Because I know the 3 names that were touted for that were Neil Lennon, Derek McInnes, and Stephen Robinson.
Oh,
I mean, Stephen Robinson, Salford. I could see Neil Lennon and Derek McInnes. No.
Neither.
See, the thing is, with like Salford, obviously when Salford were in the non-league, they obviously had like the highest budget in the league. But obviously when they've went into the football league, it's become like a much level playing field, which that's just fair play to the football league. That they've brought in the wage cap that kind of stops. It's going to be the same when Wrexham come up. Obviously they've been taken over by Deadpool effectively, and their wage budget's just going to be the same as everybody else if they do get promoted. So, I know it's an interesting, maybe before the wage cap came in, some managers would see that the Premiership here was actually smaller than the League Two down south.
Maybe Mickey Mellon's going to get the Salford gig then, because was it not Doncaster Rovers that were supposedly in from the last time in that?
I can't see Salford headhunting Mickey Mellon as the next manager.
Neither can I. I was just putting 2 and 2 together.
Yes! Come on!
Haven't seen
that.
Yep, that'll be it. I was waiting on someone making a reaction, but Danny Mullen has just put Dundee 1-0 up.
Easy,
7 minutes.
Danny boy. See, that's the type of chances we needed to be taken.
I take on really far behind it.
Who said that Kelly were poor defensively? I mean, how simple is this counter?
Paul McMullen.
It was a brilliant counter attack though. I mean, the way.
Oh no, they work it well, but from a Kelly perspective, dearie me.
I mean, I agree. I'm just seeing it again. I don't know why Alan Power gets sucked into the ball and he just leaves Danny Mullen, absolutely free in the box, and it's an easy finish for the striker.
It was a tidy finish as well, to be fair.
Was it Broadfoot in Power?
I think so.
They were the only
number
two back there,
6 for Kelly and number 27 were there.
Yeah.
I mean, I said 3-0, but let's say it could be 3-0 Dundee.
But no.
Thanks, Stefan.
What I want to ask is, obviously he's made an important start early on in the first leg. Again, doing that again tonight, getting a goal early on. That must be encouraging to see. You said, Ross, that you were worried about how you were going to start.
If you're a Kelly fan and you're conceding goals like that, I mean, you deserve to go down.
Do you know what? It'd be great to see Tommy Wright go down as well.
Aye.
See that goal there. Fair play to Danny Mullen for making the right choice. I know that obviously, like, I do fucking love both Jordan McGee and Danny Mullen, but you know he's made the right choice there. You know, Danny Mullen was not as surrounded.
And he holds his run as well, Fraz. It'd be so easy for him to just go that little bit too far, but he's intelligent enough, recognises the position that he's in, and it's a decent finish in the end.
You know, and guess who started the move? That man, Charlie Adam.
A simple hoof up the park.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though.
He forced the defenders into that mistake.
Charlie Adam hoofballs are sometimes deemed as assists.
As hoofballs go, it's pinpoint.
I said on Thursday night, Ross, that if I was terminally ill, I would want Charlie Adam to tell me his delivery's that good.
I'm sorry to tell you, Stevie. We've got the news.
Christopher Haugen.
Charlie, I can accept it coming from you.
Christopher Haugen asking anyone here Frank Lampard might be going to Crystal Palace. I was in the hairdressers. I don't know if anybody's noticed today. And that was it. That was a big talk in there that he's meant to be going there and getting the Crystal Palace job.
You know what? That might not be a bad appointment for them, actually.
It'd be a good chance for him to, like, you know, get back on the managerial ladder.
Yeah.
Because obviously at Chelsea, you know, he had to kind of, he had a demanding owner, you know, which, you know, Roman Abramovich is never going to give you time.
Well, he does have a demanding owner, but I mean, you know, he was at Derby the previous season, and to take the Chelsea job, you know, it's a huge step up. So I think if he went back to somewhere like Crystal Palace, he could possibly do quite well.
He did a good job the first season at Chelsea, though.
I was about to say exactly that. I think the Lampard is essentially the master of his own downfall, with having no expectations. I think did he not get them to third? With sort of the youngsters, the embargo and whatever.
Fourth or third with the Champions League. I couldn't believe that, considering they had like a transfer ban in that as well.
Exactly, and then as soon as he's given money to spend and it all goes to pot, it's like, well, why would you not persist? But then obviously with Tuchel coming in and the form that they then went under, it looked, you know, a shrewd appointment at the time, and it still could, obviously, if they win at the weekend.
Sean's made it. Sorry, Fraz, on you go. I'll just highlight that comment while you speak.
No, Thomas Tuchel, I mean, like, he's already lost one cup final, potentially two there. You know, it could be a failure or a success.
True.
You know, if you lost the FA Cup final and then won the Champions League final, you'd probably be moderately content. But if you lost two cup finals in like a short space of time, you'd be.
And considering Spurs practically gave them that top four place at the weekend with the win at Leicester, you know, they were hardly convincing against Villa from what I saw. So, yeah.
On Mark! Fucking yes!
We scored again!
Yes! It's 2-0. I tried my best not to absolutely shit myself when Fraz went mental there, but anyway.
That's another terrible.
You don't know how hard this is to keep quiet every time we score.
Easy. No one is marking him there. Not a single player is marking him, and he's the most dangerous player in the air on that park.
Kilmarnock, it's been a blast.
Yes, fuck you, Tommy Wright. Fuck you.
That is embarrassing.
It's a guy that just falls over.
Yeah.
That was the boy that crunched McMullen about 2 minutes ago, and he just falls over there.
Oh my days!
Listen, I'm going to say that again. That is a bullet header, and it is so.
It's good. It's good play by Ashcroft, to be fair, but I mean, Markin was just.
Had that been marked, that's obviously not going to be a goal.
Good effort from the goalie there too.
No, but
after 12 minutes.
I know we touched on it, Plaz. I know that's something that I said to you, that Lee Ashcroft's great at getting on the end of set pieces, but the marking there for Kilmarnock was absolutely atrocious.
I mean, it's just what Ross said. If Kelly done their research, they would know how dangerous Lee Ashcroft is for corners.
He's got the freedom of Kilmarnock there to head that in.
Do you know what it is? Tommy Wright has done his research, and he has told them, I just think the defenders are crap.
Yeah, and the comment I was going to get to before the goal went in there, Sean said that if Dundee come up, which is looking very likely now, I don't want to tempt fate, I know, sorry boys, but if Dundee come up, there's enough teams in the top flight to ban plastic pitches.
I mean, that's a shout. I mean, but
what do you mean? There's enough teams to ban them.
The 11-1 vote, is it not?
Yeah, so they could be banned in the top flight if we decided to have a vote on it.
Oh, here we go. Things you love to hear.
Let's highlight that comment, Danny Mullen, Ballon d'Or. We're not stealing Dundee United songs or St Johnstone songs. So we're not stealing their songs. Yeah,
get your own material.
So yeah, we'll find our own songs. All right.
Are fans allowed back to the game tonight?
Have you not seen the fans?
No,
they're in the main stand.
They're not being any at half time at this point.
It's either that or they're really animated cardboard cutouts.
No, I wasn't even looking at them.
This cardboard cutout be walking for the exit.
That's
cardboard cutout stuffing his face.
Imagine that's your first game back at football in over a year, and you're seeing your team getting demoted.
This is relegated, Stefan.
Yeah, Hearts were demoted. This is relegated.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's shocking that Kilmarnock have been given a full allocation for tonight's game.
Classic.
You raging, Tommy boy, you fat arse.
Here's the thing. We need to. We can't get too. This is where McPake earns his money as a manager. We can't get too carried away now. We really need to just be switched on at the back now. We definitely don't need to score anymore.
Yeah, it's all about game management, isn't it? Very comfortable in the side.
Like, the morale of Kelly just now will just be way low, whereas ours will just be way high. So I think we should still fucking go for it.
Kelly barely look as though they're going to score once tonight.
Yeah.
But there's Gogsy in the comments.
And before Dundee too. No.
Is Fraz going to issue out the banning order? Is that what's happening?
I can't ban a chat owner. Fuck off, Gogsy, you cunt. Evening, boy.
And then there we have Rab highlighting the point that I made on Thursday night. If it stays like this, we have the Dundee derby back, Edinburgh derby back. The Ayrshire derby will also be a thing in the Championship. So, I want the derbies back next season if it stays like this.
It's funny though. What was it? When was the last time Kelly were down in the second tier?
1993.
We kind of discovered that last time. None of us have seen them.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
27 years.
What's that, mate?
I'm sure it's 27 years the last time they were out of the top division.
Yeah. So, and they always seem to scrape by Kelly, don't they? They always seem to find their way out of things. And
they were Ackies before Ackies.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Still are half Ackies.
Fucking come on.
This one
Sean,
is
and now they're both suffering in the same season.
Aye, Sean, you just watch yourself, son. Who'll be next?
It also gave us the graphic that out of the 6 playoffs previous, 4 times has the Premiership team won, the tie. So this would only be the 3rd that somebody's potentially used it for genuine promotion.
Aye, but that's because the playoffs are heavily favoured in the Premier League team.
Oh
anyway.
no, of course, mate. And you'd expect them to keep their survival intact, but that is still pretty remarkable. You'd have thought it'd be this. Obviously, would take it to a much more even split.
I still think it should be the same across all leagues, like they do. They should have the Premier League team that finishes 11th playing the 4th side in the Championship, and 2nd and 3rd playing in a semi-final as well. They do it in other leagues, so why don't they do it?
See, the thing is, Stevie, you do see that is a good point. But see, like if it's the same as this season, we had to play 2 games to get here. The 2 Wraith games, and like Kelly still had 2 league games to play before they played us. So it's kind of like it does even itself out.
Yeah,
but only in the case that if it is 2nd versus 11th.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion of scrapping this whole playoff thing and just doing 2 up and 2 down.
Once we get up, Ross. Once we get up.
I don't know.
But then you're more likely to go straight down. Whereas at least
I know that, but you're then more likely to come up as well. I just think there's far too much money in this playoffs game now for them to scrap it. That's the issue.
And it's given us some banter over the years. I mean, Aki's relegating Hibs. That was a great laugh.
That Willow flood against Livingston was one of the best moments in the playoffs.
That was amazing.
Is that what? No. Do you remember when he did push the Livingston player? Do you know who that Livingston player was?
Sean Byrne.
Sean Byrne. The main man, the man in the middle that you don't actually hear of. But
and then he signed for some Indian team, remember? And he put the video up on his signing video. It's like, this is my past. Now this team is my future. I can't wait to get started. And then he never even played for them.
Was that not after his Dunfermline spell when he was there for like 2 weeks?
I think so. Aye.
What a buzz!
Oh.
Sean
the best playoff moment, if you're talking about playoff moments, was when Gogsy flashed the red card at somebody in the Motherwell game. If you're watching Gogsy,
when was it? Was it last season that United missed 4 penalties in a shootout?
No, it was the 17-18 season when it was like the most boring penalty shootout. It was like 2-0. And that Valclav Cladley, who's funny enough at Salford, had all the penalty takers and where they would go on his water bottle.
Was it 17-18? I thought it was 18-19.
I think I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was 17-18. 18-19 we played them first game of the season.
17-18 Levy went up, and it was 13-14 that Hamilton went up. Sean predicting a similar fate that what it looks like to be handed to Kilmarnock for us next season, saying that we will be down because Chris Long's away. I don't quite think that, but I'm just going to read to you the names of the players that Motherwell are losing at the end of the season. I could be here all night, but I'll try and get through them as quick as possible. Aaron Chapman, Sam Foley, Christopher Long, Ross McIver, Liam Polworth, Harry Robinson, Sherman Seedorf, Jamie Semple, Jake Hasty, Liam Kelly, Tyler McGlure, Eddie Nolan, Jordan Roberts, and Harry Smith. So
they play for Dundee or Kilmarnock.
Well, some of them have returned to their parent clubs, but in terms of the squad, they will be there next season. So when you think you're losing Campbell and Gallagher as well, it's quite a rebounding job. And I think, Adam, you were making the point before the stream that Kilmarnock find themselves in a similar situation.
Yeah, now obviously, should they go down, it'll be a lot harder to recruit for the second tier than it would for the top tier as well. So, yeah, two big rebuilding jobs needed. I wouldn't even be surprised if Kelly opted for a couple of those Motherwell players, to be honest.
Can I just say, do you think, if Kelly do go get relegated, which, they pretty much are, Tommy Wright going to walk?
Yeah, I think he will.
He'll be away. 100% he'll be away.
Save Kilmarnock to avoid them from getting relegated. I don't think he would walk. I think Billy Bowie should sack him.
I think it'll be a mutual thing.
The
But
thing is, I think if Kelly go down and say they do keep hold of Tommy Wright, I think they'll come straight back up from the Championship. But if they get rid of him this season, then they'll be down there for at least 2-3 years, probably.
I don't get that same impression with Kelly. I think you look at Rangers were in it for 2 seasons. Hibs 3, United 4. Exactly. I don't think it's as straightforward for Kelly to come back up as it should.
Well, yeah,
with the way Wraith have played this season as well.
That's it. Dunfermline arguably going to get stronger.
Yeah,
Inverness.
Inverness
had a stop-start campaign, but again, all depends on who they appoint.
The thing is, John Robertson, he's gone to a sporting director role, and they're now trying to find another manager. If they get that appointment right as manager, they could be flying next season.
Because Robbo recruits really well, which is why I'm not all that surprised that the sporting director. I mean, I'm surprised that it came about, but I think it's a good fit. So he obviously just needs a puppet, if you will, in order to take the team.
Just touching on some of the stuff you've said there, I think if Kelly go down, it'll be the tightest championship in a long time next season.
Probably since Hearts were in it with Hibs and Rangers, I'd say.
Yeah, really
tight?
No, I would say the last.
He won that by like 20 points, Fraz.
He's won that at a canter, but what I was
at the start of the season, though.
Oh, right, yeah, aye.
Yeah, I know, but what I was going to ask K-Rob's made a great point there. Lafferty's actually going to be one of the players out of contract. Would any of you guys take him in your side next season?
Just need to lace Danny Mullen's boots.
I know you wouldn't, Stefan. He's never going to go to Celtic. That kind of wasn't direction. You were kind of exempt for that. I think if he was going to go to Celtic, hell was going to start freezing over.
I'd buy him maybe Danny Mullen's boot boy.
Aye.
But aye.
Can clean Cammy Kerr's boots.
So imagine that wee Cammy going, you can clean my boots, pal.
We're all talking as if Kelly are down. Stefan, if you're Tommy Wright,
Kelly are not down. Kelly are not down yet. We have got a 3-goal lead in 15 minutes this season, so let's hang on just a minute.
Stefan,
Ross's optimism.
What I was going to say there, is that what you say then, Stefan? Is that what you say for Tommy Wright at half time? This is a side that have conceded 3 goals in 15 minutes before this season. Has Ross just done Tommy Wright's team talk for him then at half time?
If I'm Tommy Wright, I don't have the words to say what I would say to this bunch of cowards, is what I would call them. They have had such a glorious opportunity to remain in the division. The gap between the Championship and the Premiership is always runs in the favour of the Premiership club, and these guys have absolutely bottled it. Don't get me wrong, Dundee have played fantastically well. It does not look like Kelly have done their homework. So I don't know what more can Tommy Wright say to these guys. The incentive is there. Win and you stay in the top tier of Scottish football. That should be incentive enough. These cowards that have not had it in them. So I don't know what he's going to say, but he has to find something to at least show a little bit of fight.
Can I just say something here?
Yes, for sure. On you go.
I can assure you Tommy Wright's done his homework. I know Tommy Wright's a shit cunt and all the rest of it, but he's done his homework. I just don't think that the players all have taken it on board at all. Tommy Wright, as much as I hate the guy, he will have done his homework on Dundee, 100%. That's one thing that he is quite well known for doing. It's absolutely knowing everything about the opposition, so it's down to the players after that now.
That's the thing. That's the thing with a lot of managers. They say I can train them. I can drill my tactics into them. I can drill the opposition the way that they're going to line up. But once they cross that white line, it's completely out of my hands. And I do feel for managers in that respect that they do work hard, very hard in training. But, sometimes the players just do not implement the plan correctly. And that's how you do get a lot of managerial sackings.
I think
one game.
I think in Kilmarnock's case, it's when Steve Clark was there, he got them third 2 seasons ago. And when he left, he's built that expectation for Kilmarnock. And nobody's going to ever repeat that for a very, very long time. And and I think when they appointed Angelo, he was in 6 months. They got rid of him. They appointed the other guy, Alex Dyer. They got rid of him. So it's
years of
when you keep doing that. I mean, it's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
No, but I thought this was a good point made as to maybe why it's went a bit wrong for Kelly. They'll get people like Chris Burke, Kurt Broadfoot, Kyle Lafferty. I know you need experience in teams, but do you think that with them going down, it might be a chance for them to refresh things, get younger faces in, and inject a wee bit of energy into their squad?
You need that blend, don't you?
Tommy Wright would be that man, though.
Yeah, I think so as well.
They're going to have to do. They're going to have to do a hell of a lot of cuts in terms of wages. That's for sure.
Because I know that he brought it up. Like he said, like when he took over at St Johnstone, the average age was 30, but by the time he left, it was 23, and that was all over a period of time.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tommy. Obviously, like he was there at St Johnstone for 7 years. I don't think you'd want to hang around at Kelly for a club that's in the ship already, and you're having to really rebuild. You probably needed that foundation. Obviously, he's not got that.
I don't get the impression that any of their senior pros would want to genuinely stay with the club. Like, I can't see Kurt Broadfoot signing up for Championship football. Neither Chris Burke, your Dickers, Powers, Lafferty's. I can't see any of them opting to really stay on. So I'd be very intrigued. Obviously, the contract situation would be one that we've briefly touched on. Probably need another look at that list, because obviously Yusuf Malumbu's already away, and he's already left prior to these playoffs.
Looks like he's down place.
So it's like, if that's the squad that Tommy Wright's got to work with, then what chance has he really got from there on in?
But that's the thing as well. See, obviously when Dundee got relegated, obviously with Hearts and that. Well, I don't know about Hearts actually, but when we got relegated in the end of the 18-19 season, we knew we were down for a while, so it was kind of just a case of assessing who actually wants to be here, what contracts do we need to tie up, and then we did have a good core going down to the Championship. We still had Paul McGowan, we still had Cammy Kerr was still there, and then we still had a lot of players that had been there a relatively not long period of time, but still a good amount of time. You just build around day players, and then
I tell you, if we do go up tonight, we've got some brilliant players to build going forward for the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think what's important for Dundee is we should just keep a lot of players rather than just go into the market and just completely rejig the squad. I think this team we've got now is good enough to compete in the Premier League.
I think you do need that, Jamie, as well. You do need players that have played with each other for a while. Rather than just Paul Hartley used to do it all the time. He used to bring in 10 new players every summer transfer. Transfer window, and you'd be like, and then you'd bring in 10, get rid of 10, and you'd be like, there's no the squad turnover
cohesion and
ridiculously high.
Yeah, Stefan closely touched on it about 5 minutes ago, talking about how there was the gap between the Premier League and the Championship. I've said this a few times this season. There's no gap. But honestly, there's hardly any gap whatsoever. It's the closest it's been in years.
Yeah, I think that's certainly true, Ross. Between the bottom six and the higher end of the championship.
Yeah, obviously not so much like your Rangers and Celtic and Hibs and that, but certainly your Dundee, Wraith Rovers and that, they can all give these teams a game now.
Kelly making, sorry, is that what you were just going to say there, Stefan? Sorry, Kelly making early change.
Stops going off for Whitehall. And doesn't look like it's an injury. So
Jesus, so he's taken off a left back for another centre forward. So is that Kelly going 3 at the back or what?
Definitely.
What choice does he have, really?
No, of course. Fair play for.
Do you know what I find funny? This man was touted for the Rangers job 5 years ago. And now he's been relegated with Kelly.
I was going to leave this discussion until half time or maybe the second half, but I've got a lot of people bringing it up just now, so why don't we just dive into it? Kelty obviously brilliant coming up yesterday against Brecon, but it's shock news today for me anyway that Barry Ferguson is set to take the Alloa job. To me, that is absolute madness. What do you guys think?
How's he managed that? Like, I'm not being funny. The guy was rubbish at Clyde. He's been given stupid money at Kelty Hearts, and now he's managed to get a championship, or well, it's not championship, League One job out of it. Like
one of the best part-time teams in the country.
They were touting him for the Dundee job not long ago. Like, he's not done anything. Like, I understand it takes a certain person to get a team through a league, but they've had like treble the budget of anybody else in that league. So
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know too much about like what Barry Ferguson has done managerial wise, but I know, like, as you say, was he not a Blackpool first as well?
He was at Clyde, and he had David Goodwillie up front for him, banging in the goals, and they still finished like mid-table in League Two.
Yeah. Like, that's not good enough. But whether he's kind of proven himself at Kelty Hearts, you could argue that.
How can you prove yourself a team that's basically got enough money, like more money than all
they can sign anyone. They can essentially, a blank checkbook, here you go, sign anybody.
He's your lower league Robbie Nielsen, isn't he?
It's like it's basically like, you know, like, say if you're like Pep Guardiola coming at the Barcelona job, you know, like, you've won everything, you know, like, oh, but what have you done in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
You know,
well,
like,
there's two names there, Jack Christie's. Michael Tidser, more than good enough to be playing championship football yet. Nathan
Austin for numerous years, wasn't he?
Nathan Austin's another one. These guys could still be playing. These guys could still be playing at a good level. But they're getting so much money thrown at them. I think Dylan Easton's another one.
I really like Mike. Like, see when Michael Tidser was at Morton and in his proper like
good
prime years, he was brilliant. I remember he scored against us in a 5-1. Well, we won 5-1 against them in the Scottish Cup, and it was kind of like he was like the only standout. But his creativity.
Was that the game where the ball just hit Colin Nish and went in the goal?
I think it like hit off his like neck.
Like the defender cleared it and it just hit off him and went in the net. And it was his first goal for like months.
My dad's still adamant he coined the term Colin Pish, but everybody in their granny used it. But no, anyway. I want to get your thoughts on this comment, Adam, from Daz 47.
I was waiting on this.
Hearts on paper have a top 4 squad, and then he's named some names there. That, to me, that's not the objective for Hearts next season. To me, it's pushing up towards mid-table, maybe even just staying up.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Stevie, to be honest, because you know, a club like Hearts, I think the main expectation is going to be, we should be in the top 3 or top 4 straight away. But I mean, it's not as easy as that. They'll need to go and say, right, let's get all the points early days and see if we could push for top 6, then see if we could push for Europe, But
yeah,
what I would say is it looks like that on paper, but football's played on grass. So lo and behold, need a couple additions. That's been the case for year after year. Probably be some ridiculous mass overhaul, as it is every season. But look at, it's going to be building blocks for me. I think top 6 should be a minimum goal. I'm not gonna lie. Anything above that's a bonus. And in terms of the cups, it has to be better than the season that we've just seen. I have been quite encouraged by Robbie saying that he's looking at sort of using players as assets. I think for too long, Hearts have made Tynecastle somewhat of a retirement home. So the fact that we're looking for younger players to sell on for profit, as opposed to, I mean, your Glenn Whelan's a prime example. What a pointless signing that was on paper. So I'd quite like to see some young guns with a sort of no fear mentality, because we've not got really anything to lose. So, when I look at the Premiership, I'm not all that convinced. Aberdeen finished 4th and they couldn't score for about 10 games. Hibs finished 3rd and are the best of the rest. Yeah. But again, the cup exploits wouldn't back up that theory. So I don't see any reason why we can't finish top 6 minimum, and then anything else really is a bonus.
We've talked about how strong the Championship will be next season. The Premier League as well is going to be like
Absolutely.
I mean,
lots of sides vying to get into that top 6, isn't there?
Hypothetically, let's say Dundee go up now, right? Who do you think's going to go down?
Livingston.
That's who I would have said, but I don't know. It's so weird. Like Dundee will be one of the favourites to come down, 100%.
I don't think it'll work like that though. I actually think Dundee United might struggle as well, particularly if they're going to lose.
Depends who they bring in as the manager.
I think they need to bring in somebody that knows the game now, like rather than like Mickey Well, he might have a good run at Tranmere, but
if they bring in the two names that I've heard in Derek McInnes or Stephen Robinson, I don't think they'll go far wrong.
Don't want either of them because I think they're two cracking appointments.
To be fair to United, I mean, I don't think Mickey Mellon's done a bad job there.
He's kept them up, mate.
He's kept them up, but he's kept them stable. I mean, this is what I was saying earlier. When United came up for like last season, I think the objective would be survive, and then they forced that.
Dundee hitting the bar there.
Yeah,
chance to make it 3.
I think we're really chatting on the door again. Which is positive.
It's like Rossco, the whole not sitting on it thing's proving it's paying dividends so far.
Yeah, I thought McGowan was a bit unlucky there as well.
Yeah, there was shape for the handball, but not for me. Stefan, as much as we've been surprised with the fast start with Dundee, have you been even more shocked at the lack of response to the goals from Kilmarnock?
No, not really, because when you watch the game the other night, you look at the response that Kelly gave. Okay, they got 1 goal back, but their performance was really flat, to be honest. So no, I'm not surprised. I thought Kelly would have chased the incentive of staying in the Premiership, but it looks like to the players they're not too fussed, to be honest, because they're not showing any fight for their team.
That was their only real chance the other night. Was their goal, wasn't it? Really?
It was a first shot on
target, mate.
So it speaks volumes. They've been absolutely rank rotten, and on this basis of that's 130 minutes so far. No danger do they deserve to keep their top flight status, despite the fact that I'm looking at it and thinking that's sort of like Ross said. I mean, for our generation, we've only known Kelly in the top tier, so it is going to be really bizarre seeing them play in the Championship next year.
Maybe it's their turn now to go down.
Listen, it could prove a blessing in disguise, because ultimately, I think Ramage touched on it earlier. Since the loss of Steve Clark, they've just been in the wilderness for a couple of years, really, haven't they?
But that's the thing. See, before Steve Clark, they were in the wilderness as well. Can it paper over the cracks for them?
A genuine miracle worker.
Yeah,
that's the thing, though. I mean, like, you could I think you could genuinely believe that Motherwell could finish in the top 6 again. After they finished third, if they did start the season the way that they ended it last season. But Kelly, as we've just touched on, they were losing Steve Clark, and they had to bring in a new manager who really did have his work cut out.
Yeah. That's got to get
right. Kilmarnock over the years have always been, since probably I started getting into football, they've always been kind of near the bottom, finishing 10th. And since Steve Clark's came in, they've had a few, maybe 7th or 8th place finishes in between all that. But, I mean, if you look at Kilmarnock and Motherwell, Motherwell have always been pushing for top 6 at least, whereas Kelly have kind of been hanging in the bottom. So, I mean, to finally see them go down, I think, it's going to be strange, but it's going to be unexpected, if that makes sense.
Stat just came up on the screen there. Kelly have had 1 shot on target in 130 minutes of football. They've still not had a shot on target.
Dreadful.
Dreadful. But no, that comment from I'm just going to say Snap C. I think that's how Dundee Derby next season. That must get he's excited, boys.
Oh.
I know he's probably don't want to jump.
Absolutely,
I know he's probably don't want to jump the gun, but I think it's quite safe. He's a 4-1 up. Come on at half time.
I know, and
And they must have one shot on target in 130 minutes.
I know we're expecting them to score
Come
3
on.
goals. And we're expecting them to score 3 goals to take it to extra time as well. That's not even to like win the tie.
Full time, Kilmarnock 4, Dundee 2.
I know.
That's
Embarrassing second half performance.
James will take out Tommy Wright as the greatest manager of all time.
The thing for me as well, boys, I think Kelly obviously need to go for it, and I just think it suits Dundee. They've already shown tonight.
It's too little.
A great counter-attacking goal, and they've done similar. They've done similar against Raith Rovers as well. So I think it just plays right into your hands.
Do you know, like, I mean, their defence is like way off, right? But like, I think our like main like source of like, you know, like where everything really comes from is a creative midfield, which they're very much lacking. You know, like I think we've got 3 very good midfielders, and John McGee, Sean Byrne, and Charlie Adam. You know, like obviously Charlie Adam's the pure like linchpin of that, but you know you've got Sean Byrne, who's, you know, like he's kind of like the marshal that kind of just, you know, like sits in between
solid.
the back
He's
four.
a ball-winning midfielder, so.
And then you've got like John McGee, who just run. You know, like John McGee pretty much just runs everywhere in space. You know, you could see him like in defence, you can see him up front.
Yeah. Do you know who's really impressed me this first half? Jordan Marshall has had Chris Burke on toast.
I was about to say just that. We're winning the ball back. Just the clip, what I literally just saw was him just wrestle Chris Burke to the floor and just get his head up, look to play, and that's all you can really ask for.
But did you see like before the ball came in? Did you see Jordan Marshall? He's kind of like glancing over his shoulder to see what side Chris Burke's
But this is a guy that's been out injured for a wee while as well. This is his first start for a couple of months.
First start since April.
I'd just like to highlight this idiotic comment. I don't know how this guy can say that. Judging on this performance, he's evidently not watching the game. I don't think Kyle Lafferty's had a touch of the ball, to be honest.
Have you not got the blocking thing, Stevie?
Totally.
The fact you said the SPL, that blocking.
Well said.
Well, that Fraz is on block duty, so Fraz, please, if you will, do the honours.
It's been 8 years since the SPL was rebranded to the SPFL Premiership. I hate it. I can understand it happening in 2014, 2015. Yeah, people mistake it. Around 2021, honestly, come on, it's one of my bugbears. That actually pisses.
It is, yeah.
Question coming in here from Danny Millen, Ballon d'Or. I wonder who that could be. We've got. He's asking Fraz Rossco and Ramage, would you take Greg Stewart back?
No.
Couldn't at least Paul McMahon's boots.
No chance. I'm sick of it. Every time there's a transfer window, Dundee are always rumoured with washed up ex-players that had one good spell at us, and they come back and they end up stealing a wage. No, I don't want him back.
See, I kind of felt in the first season when we brought Kane Hemmings back, I kind of felt that was a mistake, because I thought that when we signed Danny Johnson, we should have played him as our main striker, but we didn't. Yeah. Kane Hemmings came in, and then
we really hindered Danny Johnson's development. I felt continuing with Kane Hemmings on his own up front.
He was decent that way. And there was another striker you got on loan. Was it Andrew Nelson?
No, he was on a permanent. He was on a permanent deal, man.
Nah, but Jim McIntyre signed him the season before.
All right.
Yeah, he was on.
I quite like the look at the both of them, Nelson and Johnson. But
well done, boys. I'll be back in a second. So it's just half time now. So.
Is that half time? Because I was spoilers.
Sorry, I was just waiting for the gap to get a word in there. But it's half time. It's Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 2. Dundee with 2 early goals, one from Danny Millen and the second from Lee Ashcroft. A free header in the box, both poorly defended by the Kelly defence. Looks like Dundee are going to be coming up next season. But boys, I thought I'd do something a wee bit different. I know Gogs, you told me don't change the show too much, right? But I've got the reins today, so I'm taking a wee bit of control. What I want you to do for me, right, is come up with a 5-a-side team I'll give you time to think in this, and people in the comments can get involved as well. You might have seen it on the notes today.
I like this. I like this.
A five-a-side team of players that you've seen playing your club, and one of them have to be there currently. So one of the players in the team has to be a current player, and then you pick the other four of them.
Adam's got some job picking here.
What with the current fish that I'm seeing every week, Rossco?
So can I give you mine for example? I've went for Carson in goal. Then I've went for Sean Hutchison. Then I'm just going all out attack after that. I went Turnbull, McFadden, and Mull. There's my five.
Right.
So Carson's the current player.
Come back to me in like 10 minutes.
Right, okay. I'll let people in the comments.
I centre forward, but I think the rest of it picks itself.
Sean's trying to catch me out with Davy Wilson from
Mallory Martin in midfield for you, Adam, aye?
What a player, young man. Luxury.
Manager Ian Castle.
Oh, listen, we would shit on everyone at fives with Catherine at the helm. I think you'll find.
So I'll read that again. What I want, we have to question banner. Then I want a five-a-side team.
Okay, comments get involved as well.
For the people in the comments, it needs to be one current player, and the other four can be made up. But you must have seen them play for your club. Stefan says he's got his. So Stefan, would you like to tell us it?
Oh no, hold on, I've made a mistake. Come back to me. 2 seconds.
I'll put Lucas Zaluska in goals.
I've got my current player. Hold on.
Do you say a seventh player there? I'm only looking for 5. Sorry, I don't know.
Shut up, Dick.
So some of them coming in the comments there. George Clark, he says he's gone McGregor, Gascoigne, Davies, Cooper, Laudrup, McCoy. No leaving himself a lot of room defensively there. I don't think Stephen Davis is probably about your best shout.
I'm ready now.
Right, okay, Stefan, let's hear that.
For me, and I'm only going on players that I've actually watched. They're not all time history of Celtic. So I'm going to go Fraser Forster in goal with Van Dijk in defence. Brown, because he's no longer a Celtic player, in the middle. David Turnbull and Henrik Larsson.
Jesus.
That's some faith you've got in Davy Turnbull there.
That's a good point. In fact, Sean's just pointed out George has picked 6 players. It's not like Rangers fans know able to count up to 6 or then 5. So anyway, used to that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think he said McGregor, Gascoigne, Davy Cooper, Laudrup, McCoy. Who the fuck is Davies? Andrew Davies got sent.
I thought he was misspelling Stephen Davis.
So did I. Thank you. You can see how I get easily confused there, but before they get yours, guys, Sean's going with his Kelly, Turnbull, Faddy, Mo, Hampden.
Love that all-out attack approach. Not a single defender in there. Barley and Kelly who'll be between the sticks.
Is anybody else got theirs?
I've got mine.
Let's hear it.
Right. The easiest one out of the lot of them is the goalie. It's Julian Speroni. It can't be anybody else. He's the best keeper by a mile I've seen play for Dundee. Then I've got centre defence, Glenn Kamara. I know he doesn't play there, but in terms of like a sort of a fives game, you don't really have so much defenders. Then 2 creative midfielders, Charlie Adam as the current player, Georgi Nimzadze. And then up top, the white feather, Ravanelli.
I was waiting on Danny Mullen.
Danny Mullen coming out with a grey wig now.
Have you yours, Adam?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Everybody will expect me to go Craig Gordon in goal, but they'd be wrong because I'm actually going to go for Marianne Kello, who I thought was criminally underrated. I think he'd be a decent fives keeper. My current player
goes on about Craig Gordon all the time. This is Marianne Kello.
Listen, I'm trying to switch it. I'm trying to switch it up, mate. But that's fine. I mean, we could go Craig Gordon if you want. But then I was trying to go on this current player. That'd be too easy. So my current player, I've gone for John Suter at the back as a ball playing centre half. I think he's absolutely caviar. It's just a shame that he can't stay fit. I've gone Paul Hartley and Rudy Scatchell either side of Roman Bednar as well in attack.
Roman Bednar was best.
Nice. Are you still having a thought for us if I get time to go through some comments before I come back to you?
No, I'm probably going to just fire out the cannon.
Okay.
Speroni in between the sticks, because it's either Speroni or Rab, and I think
Yeah,
Rab would probably.
has to be Speroni.
Not
Centre,
Scott Bain.
fuck Scott Bain. I'm going to opt for a centre back and say probably somebody like Craig McEwen, because I've heard that he's built like a shithouse now.
What?
Built like a shithouse now. Need that in the 5-a-side game. And then I'm gonna have Gowser, and then I'm going to opt for 2 up front, Lee Griffiths and probably Stevie Lovell. It's probably not the best lineup players that I've seen, but
You've just put Craig McEwen in with Stevie Lovell.
Craig McEwen and Stevie Lovell, that could be a dream team, mate.
To be fair, Sean's talked about how in fives you need a fat centre back. I'd take current Bobby Mann if that's what we're doing.
Aye, that's what I got Craig McEwen.
So we've got loads of these coming through now. Sorry if I don't get through them all to people in the comments, by the way. So
Stevie, did you give yours?
I gave mine, yes.
Who's in yours again?
Do you want me to go through it again?
Yes. We'll wait until damage comes back and see what
I need to remember who I picked. I went with Trevor Carlson as my current player.
Oh yeah, Sean Hutchison,
David Turnbull, Faddy and Moult are in my team. So there we've got another Mallow one coming in. Randolph, Gallagher, Turnbull, Houghton and Moult. Technically he went with Declan Gallagher because he is still under contract for the next couple of weeks. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get away with that one, seeing as he's away to Aberdeen, but we'll allow it. God, good wee mix here. Boric, McManus, O'Day, Turnbull and Nakamura. I'm still.
Where's your striker?
2 centre halves at 5s. Get that in the bin.
And Darren O'Day of all centre backs.
Darren O'Day is one of his. Oh my!
And Stephen McManus. Chief, what have you been smoking?
I like how it's now just a case of like me and Ross agreeing that like with Stefan that Darren O'Day is absolute gash.
A great commentator, by the way, a great commentator. But he, a great guy. Darren O'Day, come on, man! Oh,
my favourite memory of Darren O'Day is the picture of Stephen Naismith laughing at him.
God, we've got one from Christopher Haugen here. So he's went for Myra, Berg, Risa, Pedersen, and Carew. Went with Norway. I don't expect you to know about Wenger plus.
Thomas Meyer in goal. I don't know who Berg is.
John
Henningberg.
Player he was.
It'll be Henningberg that used to play for Man United and
all right.
Rangers.
Morton Gams Pedersen and John Carew.
Lee Barrett clearly doesn't understand the game because he's went Liam Kelly, Kyle Lafferty, Chris Boyd, Martin Boyle, and James McFadden.
that's the Pundits 11. The Pundits 11.
So, Damage, if you want to get involved, I just put a half-time question. I'll give you some time to think on it. I want a 5s team of players that you've seen play for your club, and it has to have one current player in it.
All right.
You can have some time to think on it, and then
I'll have some time,
let me know when you're ready.
Rather than just churning it out.
I'm not going to just throw you in at the deep end. But I'm surprised at the lack of shouts for like people like Henry Larsson. But I'm sure that just shows the age of the people in the comments more than anything. But obviously, I'm old enough to remember Henry Larsson, and he was just an absolute joke.
Well, there's an Inverness one. Ryan Eason, Graham Shinney, Richard Foran, James Vincent, and Ryan Christie.
I actually quite like the look of that.
Richie Foran, who scored a penalty against Thursday, don't like Gogsy try and tell you otherwise.
That comment from Joe Aribo.
It's up to you if you want to ban this or no. It depends how in 8 years for us.
We'll see how I'm feeling at full time. Then
That's good for us.
Adam Young's, I'm raging. Why did I not think of chucking Callum Patterson in there? That was a great shout.
I thought you were going to say Rudy Scatchell.
No, Rudy. Are you joking? That's God. He had to be in the team, mate.
I swear Callum Patterson's looked about 35 since he existed.
He's also been the angriest player I think I've ever seen from the Tynecastle Terraces. So, yeah, some boy.
No, but we're approaching the start of the second half now. And do you expect to see anything from Kelly going forward? Or
Depends what Tommy Wright
this
said
game's just
to
going
them.
to peter out?
No.
Depends what Tommy Wright said to them at half time, but no, I don't. I see this going one way now, and I think Dundee could well and truly grab another.
It'll be interesting to see if he rings more changes at half time on it. Or if we adopt the old Jimmy Calderwood philosophy of just throwing the kitchen sink into the box and hoping that something lands. But no, definitely an interesting second half coming up. Regardless, let me know in the comments as well what your full-time predictions are.
Stevie, go and highlight Dazzy's comment there, mate.
Yep.
I will not have Prince Wabin slander. That man played a pivotal role in Hearts' promotion of the 2014-15 season. As for the rest of the frauds, I can go along with that. But Prince Wabin, too elite a player to be in there for me.
What's the side team that's played for your club? Is it? Yeah.
That you've seen play, you have to have seen them play live, and it needs to be one current player.
Right. Okay.
Well,
I'll go
what
for.
Are you saying, Franz?
In goal, I've got Rad Douglas, and then Jordan Marshall, Glenn Kamara, Gary Harkins, and quite a surprising name to Fraz and Rossco, but I've gone for Peter McDonald as a striker because I felt in 2014 he was a very key player in that season, so that's why.
To be fair, I wouldn't hold that against you. That's a good shout, actually.
Ezo's pace for like a 35-year-old was still very quick. And like he was like a really I think he was probably one of the last proper number 9s that we've seen. Just an out and out.
That guy would do nothing for 75 minutes and then just pop up with a goal.
But he'd always be in there. He'd always be there though.
Yeah, Frazzle probably be raging at this, but no Giles Coke in my team. He'd probably say that was slander.
What about his performance in the 6-6 against Hibs?
And the Sir Matt Busby Shield against Man United 11.
Sean says, imagine no having Zane Angol or Omar Bailey, Steve.
Zane Francis Angol was pish, man.
You'd be better off with Arthur Bailey, to be honest with you. Gary Harkins,
ITV's Euro squad for obviously the Euros.
What was that, sorry, Stefan?
I thought it was ITV's Euro squad for the World Cup, mate.
Shut up, mate. I'm too tired to deal with your nonsense today, so I'm not bad. I've seen Alan McCoy's put it up on his Instagram, and it looks like the punditry is going to come from Ian Wright, Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Patrick Vieira, Graham Souness, Ashley Cole, Eni Aluko, Robert Earnshaw, Emma Hayes, Nigel de Jong, John Collins, Joe Ledley, Nadia and Nadim, Scott Brown and Andros Townsend, with Sam Masterface, Clive Tildesley and Joe Spake, Seb Hutchinson and Tom Gale commentating, supported by Lee Dixon, Alan McCoist and John Hartson. I think the BBC have got a better lineup, by the way, for the Euros.
How many Celtic midfielders was in that?
2, 3.
Speaking of BBC pundits, did you see the video that was circulating on social media of Martin Keown and Ian Wright laughing when the guy said that it was a big year for Scotland as well at the Euros this year? They laughed.
No, I didn't say that.
Just sums up the arrogance.
I would go on a rant about how the English media and English press go on about Scotland and treat them with disrespect. Do you know what? I'll keep my mouth shut and see what happens on the 18th of June. Then I'll come back and react.
18th of May, what we're waiting, we're going back in time, man.
Check out the latest Stefano Talks, we briefly touched on it.
I wasn't big-headed and do that, but thanks, Adam. By the way, it's available on Spotify.
Since you mentioned the podcast there, Adam, I'll just do a wee plug there. You'll see in the ticker where you can follow everyone. Just something I thought I'd add. So if you want to go and subscribe to Minor Ross's YouTube channel, or if you're crazy and you want to listen to Stefan and Adam talk more, then you can head over to Spotify and iTunes and can't say as well. Nah, I'm only joking. Please do check it out. It's absolutely brilliant. But then I'll leave that up there for about 30 seconds or so before I go back to the scoreline.
That's the last time I ever shared any posts from a different view after that.
You at least I put that in there. Gogsy didn't even get. He's a tickle, boys. Know what I mean?
I read that. That's got to stay.
For those that hadn't tuned in at the start, we've got the Pass the Mic Awards on Sunday. If you can go and vote in the straw poll in the description as well. Yeah,
well done. You'll find the links to that in the description, as Ross says. I'll just run through the categories for you again. You've got best attendance, best banter, punditry performance, most professional, best moment, best episode, and that's a lot. So you get one vote for each link, and the people on the panel will get one vote also. And the winners will be announced on Sunday, and that was Fraz just putting in his shout for best moment.
Gary Kerr clipping Kyle Lafferty's ankles was probably my best moment. Nah, this is my best moment, boys. Potentially.
Charlie Adams also part of the. Is he not part of the BBC coverage for the Euros this summer?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the Euros, boys. It's going to be fantastic. It's just great to be here. I'm trying not to talk about it a lot because I feel like we're mentioning it every stream now.
To be fair, we never mentioned our wee cameo on the SFA page this week.
And we have waited 23 years to talk about Scotland at a major tournament, so why not?
Honestly, I can't believe out of all the clips we filmed, they're using mine. Can't believe that, honestly. I wish they hadn't.
My mate said that. My mate's comment about that was because you were the most aesthetically pleasing in the eye. I've never been so offended in my life.
There's a ginger guy. Let's pick him. He looks Scottish.
The most stereotypical Scotsman there.
Can you tell us who's gone to the Euros?
Scott McKenna.
Fluent.
No, it was funny when Gogsy did a countdown on it. He was like 3, 2, 1. It was just an awkward silence, and then he said, "Who's breathing?" And then, you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of that time I asked, "Did anyone take Brentford on their Cooper?"
That's one of the categories, by the way.
Speaking of best moment, that has got to be up there, man. I thought I said that.
That was
it just reminded me watching that back. It was just like, oh fuck, that's just so kind of
Ramage, is that vacant look you give to the camera that just makes it.
A lot of people just commenting on the arrogance of the English pundits, and somebody made another comment there that skipped, but John, I think it's from Wembley.
I was waiting on this. Oh, he's never mentioned it.
Absolutely brilliant, by the way. In relation to the comments and in relation to the game, we'll see what happens at Wembley. I fancy it, I don't know. I really, really fancy it. I don't know if that's just blind faith. I know Stefan's the same, but I really fancy it. Come on, let's do it.
I think the first game's is either going to make or break us. If we win the first game, you never know what could happen. But if we lose the first game, we're snookered.
Yeah,
it's a big if, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we've already proven that we can beat the public at Hampden before, so...
Yeah.
Joseph's made a good point of something that I don't know if you have seen, but what do you make about the fan pack at Glasgow Green?
That was in my notes. Thanks for mentioning that, Ramage. Yep, they've confirmed that 6,000 people will be there every day during the Euros, part of our fan zone. So, I think it's...
Hello, Tier 4.
Yeah, that was my immediate reaction. How Glasgow, the cases can be going up the way they are, and then they come out and announce this today. Just, you talk about timing.
Glasgow falling through the tiers like Brecon, for fuck's sake.
Here, sorry, what a chance for Dundee there, by the way.
Yeah.
What a chance. Brilliant ball from Danny Mullen down the right and gives it to McGee, and Charlie Adam and Paul McGowan are unmarked in the box. Again, horrendous defending from Kelly.
They just left them so open.
That's a bit. That was Premiership football confirmed there if we'd scored that. But
okay. You can tell he's doubtful, but I can understand it because I go through the exact same range of emotions as a Motherwell supporter.
I've seen Dundee play at Hampden twice in my lifetime. Like, you know, we've not done anything really. So
yeah. Do you know the last time we played at Hampden as a Dundee?
Gretna 2006.
No,
was it?
No.
Well, apart from
Queen's
the,
Park.
you don't say Queen's Park, so it doesn't really count.
That's what he's wanting you to say. That's what he's wanting you to say. He's wanting you to say that.
Do we not get beat as well?
We definitely lost 2-1 to Queen's Park.
Was that the other semi, Ross?
Eh?
Was that the other semi?
No.
Queen's Park game?
No. Dundee Gretna.
Dundee Gretna.
Fortunately, you beat them in the final. Thank you.
It
took us all the way to penalties and a Paul Hartley kick out.
I was going to say
20th minute extra time.
I don't know why. See, when you said kick out, then I automatically thought of WWE, like somebody just pedigreed Paul Hartley or something.
I can't remember what happened. I think it was like Derek Townsley and Paul Hartley in the corner, and Hartley just boots him.
No, was it not? Was it not? The funny thing about it was that Gretna were like defending their own half, and then like the Gretna player was on the ball.
It's a great bit of time wasted, sort of letting the ball come down in the corner, like you say, Fraz, and then Paul Hartley just lashes out for no apparent reason.
I honestly thought that handed the cup to Gretna because obviously Hartley's was your main penalty taker at that point.
Mental, mate.
But
mental. As an 8-year-old, I'm just watching it like I've not got a clue what's happening. But I can remember the penalty save.
Fraz and Ramage, were you at that Gretna game?
No, I wasn't even a Dundee fan back then.
See what happened, Ross? My dad
don't let Hammy HD hear you saying that. You wasn't even a Dundee fan back then. I'm straight in the part-time department. Anyway,
I didn't start supporting Dundee till 2008. So.
And sorry, I just had to interrupt you because I've just seen. I know we were talking about Barry Ferguson potentially taking the Alloa job. I've just seen that. I think he's touched on it, but. He's left Celtic Hearts. I've just seen the exclusive.
Fucking hell!
No, Jesus Christ! Is this slow sports news?
Shut up! I never get a chance to touch on it. What was?
I'm very sorry, Stefan. I didn't mean to know you.
Oh, it's all right. I didn't want to talk on it.
Dude,
Stefan, Dundee have just gone 2-0 up as well. By the way, I don't know if you've seen that.
Stefan, I was saying fucking hell because I didn't actually know that had happened. I thought so. To be fair, that's news to me. It's news to me.
Aye, he announced on Go Radio.
You've been living under a rock.
He's
announced it. Working, mate. What have you been doing?
Working as well.
In fairness, I'm going to back Stefan up a wee bit here. I think it was always said that he was set to leave Celtic, but he's come out and said on Go Radio that is the case.
Exactly. Somebody said he was set to leave. I've just seen that he's told him he is leaving. So anybody that shut up, Adam.
Anyway.
No, I wanted to say, I think that's weird, by the way, that he's wanting to leave Celtic, considering, speaking of the budget that they have, I think that's weird. Why would you not want to try and get them up into League One or, even for it's just mental.
What do you mean wanting to? He has left.
Yeah, now.
Oh, shut up, mate.
What? He has.
You're just so pedantic. I'm tired.
I have to say, I thought I was doing a good job tonight to keep them used to arm's length of each other, but he's making up for it in the second half. Can the two of you please pipe down and start?
I think you should separate them. I think you need to put Stefan where Ramage is right now, just to keep them apart a wee bit.
There's a lot of tension, Stevie.
There we go. That's it.
Mm-hmm. But no, Fraz, I believe you were going to make a point on that Dundee Gretna game about your dad or something.
That was like 40 years ago, mate.
I know, but I just didn't know if you wanted to go back there.
I didn't want to go back to 2006.
It was about the same time that Barry Ferguson announced that he was leaving Celtic. But obviously, Stefan wasn't able to keep up with it.
I love it, honestly. It's so good. I'll vote for you for best patter and best banter, mate. Definitely.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Hard-burgling moron.
Don't think I'll need your votes, but cheers.
Daz, 2 seconds, I need to scroll off a wee bit to find that comment again. Daz asking the important questions. Adam, how many votes in 1901 Iron Brew are you having on the day of the England game?
Many, and I love the fact that he's dropped a cheeky wee A in there as well. Thanks for that, Daz. Hey, I've got my Iron Brew.
Hey. 1901 and vodka. Hey.
Daniel B hitting it with the facts there. Thank you.
That's Kelly got a booking and still look no further forward than scoring a goal.
Yeah, I'm there and say, "Oh, you're miles behind," but I'm not going to be that guy.
Oh man! Another substitution for Kilmarnock. Chris Bucks just went off to be replaced by Greg Kilty, who scored the 2 goals the last time Kelly was in the playoff.
The last time Kelly actually scored 2 goals. Last time Kelly had a shot on target.
Good.
Let's just fast forward to half an hour, and lo and behold, Kelly 4, Dundee 2.
This is I was going to say that comment was coming from Ross that was feeling very nervous 5 minutes ago. Was it the moment the British carpet?
Awful. Like really how they managed to finish 11th? Like how did they not just go straight down?
I fancied them to stay up. I fancied them to avoid all this shit.
I don't know.
I don't like that we keep. I know Kelly have been bad, but I think we have to give some credit to your own side, boys. Honestly,
we've looked really good. I said that before these playoffs. We've played well against the good teams in our league this season, and we've played bad against the rubbish ones. So, I'm not surprised that we're doing this.
See another thing as well.
I even think if Wraith Rovers were in our position, I still think they would have relegated Kelly. So,
nah.
What were you going to say there, Fliss?
That was like McPake got interviewed by club media, and he was saying we've beat we've put Premiership teams in a game this season. Obviously Hibs twice, bar the last few minutes of that game. The St Johnstone game. We've put Premiership teams in a game. So it's a squad that is capable of potentially being not right up there, but challenging.
It's been pretty much what McPake's done the whole time he's been manager, and it started with the Aberdeen Cup game.
Yeah,
at the start of 2 seasons ago.
That's probably one of the best performances I've seen.
Yeah, we absolutely played Aberdeen off the park. And okay, we lost, but
we were very unlucky though.
We were so ridiculously unlucky that day. So
probably one of the best performances I've seen Dundee get beaten. I think just heartbreaking. It's you're only seconds away.
It was Considine scored in injury time, did he not?
No, it was Cosgrove.
But there's a question
as well. No,
there's a question to the 93 people that we've got in the comments. Then, what is a game that you remember your team playing really well in but losing? A game where your team.
I know my one straight away. My one straight away is when we lost to Dundee United in the. I think was it the League Cup or something like that at Tannadice.
Martin Boyle got sent off.
Martin Boyle got sent off after about 10 minutes. Greg Stewart missed a penalty. We held on for dear life for the 93rd minute, and then that boy Foyt scored a header in the last minute. And it's the only time I've ever seen literally every Dundee fan just get up and clap at full time, to a defeat.
Yep. For me, it's got to be the game where we came back against St Mirren and lost in penalties last season in the Scottish Cup. That sticks out to me. Adam, while you're back, we're just talking about games that your team have played really well, but have ultimately went on to lose. Is there any that stick out?
Perhaps the COVID Cup final back in December.
Yep.
That's probably the main one.
Unlucky, mate.
I was going to ask you an opinion on that, there, Stefan. Would you say it's right to think that? And is there any that stick out to you? I'm sure a couple of the games against Rangers this season, I think he's played really well in, but just ultimately not got.
I'm not going to touch on the COVID Cup final because we won and his team lost. However, what I will talk about, a game that Celtic played well in and ultimately lost, Bayern Munich at home in 2017. Bayern won 2-1, but I think Celtic gave a great account of themselves and were unlucky not to get a point against them. But had a certain goalkeeper done his job, it was ended 1-1. But
honestly, it's bad how much Craig Gordon and I are living in your head rent free.
You something in, mate. That's fine.
I like this comment from Graham Caldwell because he says, to be fair, Rossco Lafferty's been the difference maker between Kelly finishing 11th and 12th. If you take him out the team, they would have been isolated at the bottom. But I think that's
Sorry to cut you off there, but I've just seen McPake just mouth, that's fucking shit. Like, that was hilarious. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, but I think that's, you're right in what you're saying there, Graham, but I think it's been highlighted tonight by how quiet and over the 2 legs Dundee have kept Kyle Lafferty. We've talked about Kilmarnock doing nothing over the 2 legs, and that's been mainly because you've not seen Kyle Lafferty in what now 152 minutes of football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing though, a good striker will try and do anything to wriggle around a defensive line. You know, they'll go wide, they'll cut in maybe on on the opposite side, you know, but he's absolutely done nothing. I mean, can he
touch the ball in the 2 games?
No, I think the only time he's picked up the ball is probably giving it to the referee at full time.
Or to kick off again.
Aye, probably right. And this man's been at I wouldn't say at the top of his game for a while, but you know he's no amateur at the Scottish game. He knows it inside out.
Where does Lafferty go next season? St Johnstone.
I think he might go to Linfield or something and just end his career there. But no, Tommy McClendon, echoing what you said there, Stefan, Celtic won by
Kelly Hearts. Alloa. It's going to Alloa.
Part of the Barry Ferguson revolution at the Wasps.
We've got 103 people in the comment section now, and if you're just joining us, as Dundee 2 Kilmarnock now, we're about I'd say including injury time about half an hour to play. And
Barry Ferguson's left Kelty Hearts as well, for those who don't know. Stefan was one of them.
Oh, poor Stefan, I think you're doing with the service here, but anyway.
It gives him sort of any chance to be relevant because we know normally he is just irrelevant. So it's all good.
Neil Lennon's just been sacked by Celtic as well.
Fox.
Derek McInnes is also looking for a new job, I heard.
Graham Alexander's taking the helm at Motherwell.
John Hughes is
One thing I will say as a Motherwell supporter, I think you look at Motherwell and Kelly as being the two of the mainstays in the top flight in Scotland in the Premiership. I think this serves as a reminder to us, with the amount of a rebuilding job that we've got next season, how we cannot be complacent, because
Kelly and Motherwell are 2 of the mainstays in this.
Well, Motherwell have been in the Premiership.
Neither of us.
Shut up, Stefan. Come on. You knew what Stevie meant in terms of resources. I think it's remarkable how long that Motherwell and Kelly have stayed in. When you look at Hibs pissing theirs up against the wall, us pissing ours up against the wall. Grow up, mate.
He's been muted, it's fine.
Okay.
I'd also like to say big thank you to everybody that's tuning in. 111 of you as we hit the 1 hour 38 mark. No, that's mad. Obviously wishes you could hit the numbers.
The other thing I was going to say is that it's not just like Motherwell that are needing a rebuilding job. There's a lot of clubs that need a rebuild.
I was going to say, literally everybody's needing a rebuild.
Who doesn't need a rebuild? St Johnstone don't need a rebuild.
St Johnstone and Rangers potentially, but even if they lose their 3.
Yeah. It's crazy that you put St Johnstone in that bracket now, innit? Because you looked at them last season at this stage, you're thinking, no, they need a rebuilding job, but now they seem quite stable under Callum Davidson.
It just depends on who they lose, I suppose.
If Kelly had the second shot on target.
I've got that one.
I think I missed something. Oh.
I was wondering what he was celebrating.
Football.
This is
Yeah.
Mr. Anxious, and he's buzzing because the opposition have had a shot on target.
Stefan,
Yes, mate.
Michael Presley's here.
Here he is, Big Mike.
Who's that brother of Stephen?
I was going to say something, but listen, I don't want Michael. Okay.
What did you say, Ross?
Brother of Stephen and Elvis.
Elvis is laddie. Oh dear. Oh, there's Ryan's cousin down below as well.
Christopher.
Recent comment.
Christopher touching on the question of
There's Owen Coyle's brother.
I was going to say, Joseph, how's your Uncle Owen?
I haven't seen a photo of Joseph Coyle. I can tell you he's the absolute double of Owen Coyle, by the way. So yes. But no, Christopher touching on the question of a game that you can remember, but your team ultimately went on to lose it. Sorry, can you give a word out there? Didn't lose, but 3-3 versus Sweden in the Euro qualifiers. Were 3-1 up with 5 minutes to go and played only for Sweden to score 20 in 5 minutes. Pretty much killed their automatic chances. Don't worry, Christopher, as Scotland fans, we've had many a heartache in qualifiers. We don't need to worry about that, mate. So we certainly agree on that one.
You know what was
John,
one of the, like, I've been to like
John,
so
tell
many.
Archie that I'm asking for him.
Fuck off.
Stevie, there's your opportunity there before Ewan Stars corrected himself.
It's a penalty to Kelly.
Oh no!
God, I must have.
Shit! Here we go
I
again.
missed that, right? Since she's know it's a penalty, I'm just going to take over, lads, right? Since she's know it's a penalty kick and put you out your misery.
No.
Kyle Lafferty, step up. He's smashed it. He sent the goalkeeper wrong way, smashed it in. It's 2-1 on the night.
Come on!
And 4-2 in aggregate. And now Ross, Flads, and Jamie are absolutely shiting themselves.
I'm sorry for
I
spoiling.
haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what you're saying.
Sorry for spoiling. I just turned around. I was looking at my phone and I looked up and I was like, oh my, it's a penalty. And I said it out loud. So I'm sorry I didn't spoil it.
Sorry, good
I
job.
like damage, man.
Really
I'm telling you,
appreciate
here
that,
we
mate.
fucking go. Watch this.
Is that a penalty?
We've had the Barry Ferguson rumour, and now he's spoilt the pen.
I mean, do you know what? You can
Barry Ferguson rumour.
I got told that he was destined to be leaving. No?
Oh Christ!
Oh, here he is, Kyle Lafferty. So.
Oh, he's already on the way down. That's an
a joke.
embarrassment.
That's never a penalty.
I don't think that's
No,
Not
no
for me.
penalty kick, Ross.
He's anticipating the contact, didn't he?
just standard the referee.
Oh,
The inconsistency of Scottish referees is a shambles.
It's
See this comment
official.
here, by the way.
What one?
This comment here.
What one?
This comment here by Jonathan. Fucking spot on, my
I'll
man.
tell you, Paul McGowan needs a call up to the barbers to get that mop shaved off.
Oh, Barrett's horrendous.
I love Paul McGowan, right? I love him to bits, but he really needs to just do a number one all over on that. Like,
That's coming from a guy that's wearing a hat, because his Barnett's an absolute mess.
Show us.
yeah, good
No.
penalty by Lafferty, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just smashed it. One hard, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way.
But
But the nerves creeping back now, boys.
Here we fucking go. Watch this. Oh, dear.
I was gutted Stefan stopped, actually. I thought with it being the last SPFL stream of the season, we were going to get another tirade on how refereeing in Scottish football is terrible.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, talking about the penalty there, Legstons doesn't cover himself in a lot of glory, but that's never a penalty.
That's never a penalty.
No,
I
not for
thought
me either.
Legstons was a bit unlucky there, to be honest.
Why is he flying out like that, though, Ramage?
I don't know.
Damage.
It just looks like a bit of a miscommunication between him and Marshall.
Yeah.
Big Osmond.
Yeah, it certainly makes for the viewers the next 22 minutes interesting.
Yeah.
Aye, 150 knees, enjoy yourselves.
I know. Honestly, if Dundee chuck this, I'm gonna be fucking
devastated.
Nah, seriously, I hope you've enjoyed this stream though. It's been a wee bit different with Gogsy and being here.
I'll tell you in 20 minutes whether I've enjoyed this stream or not.
We've enjoyed bringing the games to you.
It was literally so comfy, and now that better and goal, and all of a sudden it is the potential to go to absolute shit.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed bringing the game to you, but as we've got about 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go, there's another wee reminder of where you can catch everyone apart from places that pass the mic. They'll get other.
Get a bit of fucking rest.
No, we're getting it out for everybody. 3 times, that's all.
That's just jealous because he hasn't got a
I promise that's it. We'll get your book out there, Flash, don't worry. Go.
Keep on. There's Danny Mullins coming off for Osmond So. Like Danny Boy's had a fantastic shift.
Yeah.
He's played well.
Getting the opening goal. He's played well across the 2 legs. Like he's proved a lot of doubters wrong that he can step up.
Did anybody see Charlie Adams' hospital pass to Sean Byrne there? And Sean Byrne somehow got out of it.
Roddy McKenzie's lucky there, by the way. I know you're going to say it in a couple of minutes, but he's a bit fortunate for me there.
It's great to see the best Swedish striker to grace the Scottish game come on as well.
How did he manage to get $1.5 million out of a guy that only had 6 months left on his contract?
He's got like a really impressive goal to game ratio, but
he did for us. Yeah, I love Big Osmond So.
Do you know what he is? He's such a weird player. He's like so awkward to play against. He's not good. He's just awkward.
That's the commander-in-chief away, boys.
Joseph, tune on Sunday for the awards, mate.
But see you later, Chief. Tell Owen I'm asking for him.
Shut up, man. That's a chronic butter.
All right, Red Bull Brecon.
I know he's hitting out with Red Bull Brecon. I know. I'll give you that, Adam. Me and Adam can agree on that. Terrible batter.
You weren't even here.
Red Bull Brecon? Yes, I was.
Well, you never piped up and got on the investment train.
Say that again?
You never piped up and got on the investment train.
I know, mate. I didn't want to tell you how bad of an idea it was, but
it's fake, Stefan. It's not real life.
You do you, mate.
Aye, well, see, Flash, they were all interested when Brecon still had a chance of staying up, but now they're going to be playing in the Highland League.
Bye-bye! Don't come back.
I'll miss the hedge.
No, Brecon, just that hedge.
Just the hedge and the homemade soup they sell at the pie shop.
How much is the soup?
I can't mind. It wasn't expensive though.
Put some Red Bull on it.
Oh God, here he goes.
Stevie, you and Stars has put a valid comment in the comment section there.
You still got it 2-1, 2-0 even. I wish it was.
Come on, Stevie, get the finger out.
Oh, sorry. I thought I changed that. I'll be on that now. It's my first time, right? No.
That would never be Gogsy.
Yeah, no, in fact, even that
Free Gogsy.
Nah, Gogsy, it would still be 1-0.
Oh, aye, right.
Just puts on the ticker, Barry Ferguson has just left.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. Oh, brilliant.
Do you know what's weird? They put the Kyle Lafferty had scored and I just forgot to change it.
Yeah. There's an interesting stat there. Last 10 minutes possession, Kelly have had 78%. They've really came back into this now.
Yep, but I think I still fancy to see it out, mate.
It's game over, but it makes it interesting.
It's sort of reminiscent of the first game, isn't it? In that Kelly hadn't done a lot. They grab a goal and all of a sudden, now it's that little bit more nervy for you lot. But this is done. No chance.
Yeah, this game is over.
Well, I hope you're right. I was going to praise Bobby Madden the night too. First ever time I was going to praise the guy. He's just given that penalty, so fuck him.
Do you know, I was
That's that out the window.
I was going to say at the start of the game, Bobby Madden's the referee convicted us. There's going to be a dodgy penalty decision, but I stumped myself because I'm sure he's been like that. Then he's going on about that St Mirren penalty decision again.
Somebody put it on one of the Dundee pages, like talking about the referee, saying like, you know, you just know he's going to look for a penalty, like give them a penalty against us. Because I remember he was the ref. Was he? No, it was Willie Collum. Like some referees just hate us. Like Willie Collum was the referee in the Doon Derby. I was convinced we weren't relegating them because of him alone. It's nothing to do with the belief in our team.
I would probably say the worst referee I've seen at Dens numerous times would be Andrew Dallas. Oh, that boy is.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I could argue with that, Ramage. I think that's a good shout.
There is a catalogue from
it's like you turn up to Dens, you just Andrew Dallas as referee. It's like, oh fuck, may as well just go home.
The boy Clancy as well is another one.
Who's the ref that gave that penalty when we were actually playing Killie when Jordan Jones dived in the box?
Was that not Dallas?
Was that Dallas as well?
Yeah.
Boys, it might actually be easier and quicker if we go through the referees that we do actually think are quite good. Let's go that way, shall we?
Let's start, and now we've ended.
Start the list. End the list.
Oh man, that's the end of that list. Thanks, boys, for your contributions.
5-a-side teams worth of refs. Struggling at the goalie.
You can do the top 5 worst referees you've ever seen. There you go. It's hard to name a top 5. You put a lot of them on level playing field.
Willie Collum has to be the referee I've ever seen in my life. I think he was voted by a European magazine as the worst referee in Europe for
what magazine
was in the Champions League. So yeah.
Do you know what lets Willie Collum down is the fact that he makes like a really, really good decision and then he'll make an absolute howler a minute later. That's the problem with him.
Inconsistency.
Yeah.
It's just an embarrassment of Scottish football when he goes and does Champions League games.
He's also going a bit bald, so that's probably another reason. He's an embarrassment. But hey, we'll sit.
I like this comment from John Knox here. Dundee away is our version of Stoke on a rainy night. On a Wednesday night at Dens.
How do the British say? You have to do it in a rainy night in Dundee.
That's how I should have opened the stream. And the accent of Thomas Miller, just instead of going morning, just go evening.
Evening. Substitute for Dundee, Paul McGowan is leaving the field of play to be replaced by Declan McBain.
I think Paul McGowan's played really well in it.
Paul McGowan is now, what is it, 7th season at Dens. 7th full season where he's played the majority of all the games every season.
251 games for the Dundee, that boy.
In 7 seasons, that's pretty remarkable to be honest.
And still hasn't shelled out for a haircut in that time. Unbelievable.
Saving his wages for his kids, all right?
Stevie, I know the section solely used for the game, but I need some help. So I need you to ask the comment. Well, I need you to let me ask the comment section. What's the dinner? I need an answer. So choices are a chippy or an Indian. So if people can let me know, I'll go with the most.
Are the panelists allowed to give their opinions? Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll just leave the comments section with Stefan for the next 20 minutes of this.
See you all on Sunday. Goodbye.
Can I just say that's a good change from I forgot to say
this. What to you, Stefan?
I don't know what is happening. I didn't say that I was leaving you with Stefan. Sorry, Ross.
Can I just say that's a good change from Dundee there. They need McPake's pace just to stretch the game a little bit here.
McPake's pace? McPake's only got one leg.
Ross is like, well, that comfortable.
I love to see James McPake up against Tommy Wright. Imagine that in a foot race.
Substitution for Dundee, leaving the field of play number 10. Paul McGowan replaced by number 6, James McPake. What? No, did a similar incident of this not happen in a World Cup final?
Was it
Yeah,
Graham done it, I believe?
Paul,
Graham Paul, sorry, that's it.
one of the Croatian players, thrice before sending him off.
Yep.
But it was because the Croatian, like it was the Australian. No, it was great. It was Craig Moore that played for Rangers, and then apparently the number 3 that played for Croatia had a very Australian-like accent, so it was confusing.
Right, Mike. No, I'm not going back into my accent. So I had enough of that.
What was the case down south? Was it Andre Mariner where he sent off? Was it Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain instead of Kieran Gibbs, or vice versa?
Yeah. It was a blatant handball, and then he sends off Kieran Gibbs, and Kieran Gibbs like, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me."
The boy whose hand it hit, like he went to the ref and said, "Look, come on, it's me that's meant to get sent off here, not him." And like the ref was just having none of it. It was like
crazy.
There you go, boys. What's the worst refereeing decision you've seen in person?
I would probably say Willie Collum giving a penalty for Odsonne Edouard's dive in the 2019 Cup final.
Crime on, Adam. Crime
I
on.
no idea what you'd say, mate.
I think a lot of these are well Fulham related. I'm also going to go for, I believe it was Callum McGregor's dive against Motherwell when we could stop them from being invincible. We were 1-0 up and they got a penalty in the last minute. Raging.
Oh no.
It was a Stonewaller.
Oh, it was never a penalty kick, Stefan. Away you go and bail your heat, son.
The worst was a John Guidetti dive at Tynecastle, and I can't remember who the referee was that night. Oh, come on, mate. Behave yourself. Honestly, that is the worst. Brad Mackay is absolutely nowhere near him, and John Guidetti falls like a sack of spuds.
I always say the one was the Jordan Jones one I was talking about earlier. It's the one for me. Like that was just.
What's Neil McCanney's job? And Neil McCanney even said that to the referee. You're going to cost me my job here.
That was just shocking.
Jack Christie says Douglas Ross in goal. Surely be better at right wing, nah?
He's here all week.
And twice on a Sunday. Anyway, Stefan, I believe you were going to say something there.
I really honestly can't think of one that sticks to mind. I'm going to have a good think on this.
That's because
usually they go in favour, don't they?
I know. That's because you just get everything anyway.
Do you know what's mental? I love the fact that the guy that's berated referees for how horrendous they are all season, when I ask a question like that, you cannot think of one decision that was absolutely shocking.
So if you give me a moment, I'll have a.
Joking.
You're not joking, Stevie. Don't hit out me. I'm joking when you're not. Don't.
I just thought I'd try and get you to bite towards the end of the season since you've been doing it to me for the past 3 or 4 weeks anyway.
Oh, he loves it. Stefan's one of them that loves to throw the fishing rod out, but as soon as you do it to him, he doesn't want to be anywhere near you. 100%. He can give it, but he can't take. He's a mug.
One of the comes.
Scott Whalen.
When did Jesse Curran snap Stephen Lawless?
Dundee have been awful this second half. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They've been awful. But at the moment, I don't care because we're still winning.
No!
Listen, Ross, this type of game, mate, with the start that they got off to, they were never going to maintain it. And ultimately, they killed the tie early doors. So it's sort of as best as you could have hoped for when you said that boring 0-0. This has essentially been it.
The reason I said that is just because of that kamikaze diving header at centre-back from Liam Fontaine there.
I've thought my worst refereeing decision, Stevie. Meekings for Inverness with a handball when
yeah.
The official on the line, referee saying, I'm trying to think who the referee was. It was either Clancy or Stephen McLean. I think it was Stephen McLean, but yeah, I'm going to go with that for the worst. Denied Ronnie Dyla. That's terrible.
Scott Wiley doubting that Kelly, asking if you think Kelly will even survive the championship next season. I don't think we
only
can
go down again.
We can't. I mean, they're not going to do that, and we can't comment on that anyway. Because
I don't know.
To be fair, did Partick Thistle no go straight down?
They did, yeah. No, they were down after 2 seasons. But
fair enough.
But, I mean, if we're getting technical, they didn't really, did they? No, but that.
See, when people say if we're going to get technical, it means let's get technical, boys.
I know, says the Hearts fan.
Whoa. It was Stefan that hit out with a let's get technical. I was just saying that Partick Thistle were robbed of a game out with their control.
We were robbed of the Premier League already.
I couldn't play it.
I'm going to say that.
He was turning it around.
It's the same way
Hearts were back.
It's the same when somebody says, I'm not being funny, but when they actually mean, I'm going to say something and I'm going to try and make you laugh, but I'm not going to laugh.
Listen, did he pull me up for it? It was Stefan that said it.
I didn't say anything about technicality.
Yeah, Lafferty wasn't offside there.
No,
that's why
wasn't.
You seen Legdon's kind of playing to the whistle. Because he's some professional.
I was just saying though how he's getting technical. I should have a wee jingle in the background, like a wee techno jingle for whenever we're getting technical.
I should do.
Fraz and Ross could just start going like this.
All I'm reading in the comments tonight is just great to get rid of plastic pitches. There really is a lot of hatred going on.
I mean, so you were going to say glad to get rid of Gogsy.
I was going to say that don't call Gogsy a plastic pitch. That's not very nice.
See, this is the thing as well. This is the only stream that Gogsy's not been on from like start to finish, because there was one that I did start, but he came on like 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
But this is the only one that he's not been on all the way through, and I would like to thank each and every one of you that has tuned in.
Right, well, I'm safe to say that we've been above 100 for the majority of the stream, boys. So
121 as we hit the 2 hour mark. Give yourselves a round of applause, lads.
Whoa. Is that a booking for a dive? It is.
A dove. I did.
Shawnee boy, I don't know what I said well, but
Jack Whitehall's just been booked for diving.
Jack Whitehall has.
Yeah.
Danny Whitehall.
I know, that was the joke. Oh, no, he hasn't dived. He elbowed Cammy Kerr.
I'm loving this name better.
Mark McNeil quoting Steve Clark here. Bye-bye, Kelly.
Bye-bye, Kelly.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Seriously, boys, though, I think with 2 minutes to go for added time, how do you feel then? I've been asking you all season. I've been asking you all season, Ross. Do you think he'll come up near the playoff? And the two of you, I think, to be fair, have said that you don't think he'll get enough in the tank.
No, I can't believe it, mate. I can't believe it. I don't know how we've managed to pull this off.
Sorry, Fraz.
Go on. Go on, Adam.
No, it's your night. Go on.
Oh, thanks. The thing was, I thought we were too inconsistent to like even consider the playoffs. Thanks, Stevie. That's all I had to say. Like, you didn't have to go.
No, just because Adam said it was your night, mate, I thought I'd give you the full stage.
Alright, shut up. This is your night.
What's Ramage got to say on it?
What have you got to say, Ramage?
Yeah, like at the start of the season, I would have never thought we would get promoted. But I kind of thought, like, since Christmas time, when we kind of started getting points and started winning games and stringing form together, there was slight belief, but still I never thought we'd be in this position. Yeah. Never thought.
There's one thing, we've not struggled to score goals this season. That's not been the issue. The issue is that we've not been keeping them out. So we still need to improve. I think we need another goalie in the summer, and I think we need. Yeah.
To be honest, I think Leston's will do all right in the Premier League.
I think as a backup though, Ramage, I don't think he's really a sort of main. He might get it. He might get it. Don't get me wrong, but he's just kind of solid. He's nothing outstanding. I think we need another. I think in the summer we need a goalie, another full back, and another centre back, and we'll be sorted.
Always Lamal's out of contract in the summer.
No. No chance.
Well, Jack Hamilton's out of contract for us, so
you can take him back at Hearts.
No thanks.
I think that's one of my pet peeves. Like you said it earlier with Greg Stewart, and you touched on it, Ross. Whenever an old player's out of contract, people are like, "Oh, sign him again, sign him." I just think that's moving backwards as a club. Get new players in, get new blood, freshen things up.
Honestly, there's not been one Dundee player where we've signed them back and they've actually been good.
We're back with a bang.
What a dismal weekend for Tommy Wright. The club that he was last at in Scotland have done the double this season, and his side are headed for the Championship. If that doesn't make you smile that he's have done that to a grass, then I don't know.
Get up.
I don't know what will, boys.
See, be honest, like Thursday I was euphoric, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday were honestly like the slowest day. I just wanted today to come around rapid.
Same, yeah.
I felt like it was really a slog, and like the way that we came out and started really just set the tone for the tie. In my opinion, we just made it difficult for them with both ties. That's what we needed to do.
We've got to be realistic and think that and say that we're gonna. We're not going to do great next season. I don't think we will. As long as we stay up, we finish 10th next season, I'll be more than happy.
Yeah.
I'd take 9th right now.
John, I know I've kind of contradicted myself here, but there's exceptions to every rule, I think. And I think where Walt is definitely an exception. He's got me a belter there, to be fair.
He has done you there.
I probably shouldn't even have highlighted it. Dick, don't worry, I'll get him back in.
You can see McPeaky's starting to smile now. Like he's kind of like, fucking did it, Dave.
Honestly,
did it.
like,
You ken the manager you've just beat there, Dave.
Yeah.
That's your old gaffer there.
We honestly see some of the players we've got for next season. We've got Cummins, Charlie Adam, Paul McGowan, Paul McMullen, Danny Mullen,
John McGee. Sean Ball.
Osmond Shaw,
Marshall.
We've got some. I'm telling you, we've got. Look at me smiling over at Tommy Wright and that as well.
This is why I wish that Neil McCann was the pundit.
Oh yeah, I know. Bring Neil McCann back in as assistant manager.
He might be on the sports scene highlights, so you never know. But I hope he is.
It's not the same though. Like if you're in the actual proximity of the grass
to see it happen, be there.
It's not grass, it's AstroTurf.
Yeah.
That's what we sing about. Right. He's an AstroTurf.
Boys, I don't mind ruining this for you. It is full time. It's finished at Rugby Park.
Yeah.
Dundee 2, Kilmarnock 1. Goals from Danny Mullen and Lee Ashcroft. Kelly applied well 1 putt.
What the fuck? How have we pulled this off?
Kelly applied well 1 putt and Kyle Lafferty got to go back to the penalty spots. But boys, Dundee boys, your thoughts? You're in the Premiership next season. Brilliant.
Aye, fucking brilliant, mate. Can't believe it.
Fucking buzzing, mate.
Yeah.
Buzzing at my tits.
I know.
There you go.
Derbies are back.
Congratulations, troops.
What's the easy season? There we go.
I asked Adam at the beginning of the night with can we come back to Dundee Delight, and it was Dundee Delight, but boys, Adam, Stefan, if you get anything to add from a Kilmarnock perspective as a neutral, how do you think they'll be feeling? Obviously devastated.
I was going to say that
I
think I was the only one that sort of backed Dundee within the 90 minutes tonight, so that kind of speaks volumes. But no, I don't know whether it's a case of Dundee being brilliant, Kelly being ranked rotten, or a little bit of both. So I'm assuming it's a bit of both.
To James McPeaky now.
I can't take my eyes off him despite me giving these points. I'm intrigued to see what Fraz is saying. But over to you, Stefan.
No, I was just going to say I don't really care how Kilmarnock are feeling. I doubt the fans will care how the players are feeling because they didn't give a performance that they should have. And when you have the incentive to stay in the Premier League and you go out with a whimper such as they have, I've not got really much more to add. Just pathetic display from them. And it's good that Dundee have won. They thoroughly deserve it. They've deserved it over the 2 ties. So harsh luck, Kelly, but enjoy the Championship, lads.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a night there. So in the end up, it was Dundee Delight, and they will be in the Scottish Premiership next season. It means that we only have 1 plastic pitch in the top flight next season, and you get the return of the Dundee Derby. And if you're an Air fan watching as well, you've also got an Ayrshire Derby to look forward to as well. I'd just like to say thanks to everyone individually. So thanks to the author of Sedco, the Banter Years, and the owner of Red Bull Breaking. So that's Quandro. Cheers.
Keep on.
I'm sure you'll continue following Hearts and Perth to Paisley. Adam, thank you, mate.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
Head over to Rossco Reviews. I'm sure they will have plenty more to say towards the beginning of the season about how Dundee are going to build a squad. Cheers, Rossco.
Cheers, Stevie. Thanks for hosting tonight as well. Really enjoyed it.
No problem. And every Monday you can catch the man, the mic, the legend, the Stefano Talks on his podcast on Spotify. Cheers, Stefan.
Cheers, Stevie.
And it's been a pleasure to have you on as always, Ramage. I hope you've enjoyed the game tonight, and thanks for not spoiling the score at any point. So thank you very much.
I'm fucking buzzing, just absolutely fucking buzzing.
This is the most animated I've ever seen you, Ramage.
I know. I just cannot believe that we're promoted.
Thanks to everyone. I
was just gonna say, this kind of, after being such a shit season for like in terms of getting no fans into the ground and everything, it kind of makes it a wee bit better. Yeah. So it softens the blow of St Johnstone.
Like James McPaig going to see John Nelms, the managing director, the main man, but they're all fucking heroes.
So, boys, you've seen your team be promoted and your country get to a major finals in the same season. That brings an end to our SPFL content on Pass the Mic this season. I'm sure we'll be back with some stuff over the course of the Euros, and that will be revealed in due course. Thanks to the panel for joining me, and thanks to everyone in the comments as well. We've had over 100 of these for the majority of the night. Don't forget that we've got the Pass the Mic Awards coming up on Sunday, and you'll find a link to one voting title for each category in the description, and join us on Sunday for that. I've been Stevie Wheels bringing you Pass the Mic tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, folks, drive safely.
Yeah!
We are going up.
We are going up.